I have never said this to anybody.
Looks like our wedding picture.
I am like a hugely imperfect person. I think that guilt of privilege, which now is something that I'm much better with, was so heavy when I was growing up. Because to be completely fair, I do have it much easier. Like when I think about my career so far, I was in it for 8 years. I took a break for a year.
A lot of athletes, including myself, only spoke about my mental health struggles much later on in life. Hugs are not for me. I'm not a hugger. No, I can't hold your hand and all like. So my mom used to say, how do I know? I'm also a mother for the first time. Be careful. I have to tell you to be careful.
I know.
Yeah, I'm saying it for camera. So I want to ask you, which is very weird because I think I know everything about you, but I don't know which is the first instrument you started playing. Which is the first
instrument was the santoor at 8.
You know, I've actually seen you play the santoor. Do you know, remember there was a time when Izhan was watching you play the santoor?
Yeah, that was so cute.
That's the only time I watched you play the santoor. It's beautiful.
I wish I played it more. Now I'm more into like drums, guitar. Sorry.
Which one is your favorite?
It depends. I think I like the guitar when it comes to composing. I like the drums when it comes to like other stuff. Oh!
And when did you first know that you wanted to be a musician?
I have never said this to anybody.
You're gonna say it here to everybody.
I was at a Lady Gaga concert.
How old were you?
Must have been like 11, 12. 11.
Okay.
Something within me, like, I don't know. I can't explain it. It just felt like destiny. But I knew that it would not be a very linear journey. Should we?
Are you
I'm
really
very
breathless? Okay, we'll get you water when we sit. We'll do what we do best.
You're too fit, man.
Sit
Happy?
and vegetate.
Yeah.
You're fine, na? After that fall.
Yeah, where are you? Where were you hitting the ball,
I
man?
was not. I have it on camera.
Api.
It was exactly
Api.
where.
I am not a world champion.
No, you're not. So, we met. I'm going to get straight into it.
Yes.
We met, actually, funnily enough, on set.
I know.
For
Unstoppable.
For Unstoppable.
You forgot now for what?
No, I was going to say for your music video, I was going to say. But we met and we didn't know that we were going to become friends after that, right? It was, I don't know how it happened, but we're here on another set. And I don't tell you this very often because you're a little sister to me. But I admire you for the amount of hats that you wear.
Oh, happy.
Yes, I really do, and it's really inspiring for me. So I just want to know.
So, please, I can't.
I want to know. What is your favorite hat that you wear? Entrepreneur, musician, songwriter, singer, mental health advocate. But my favorite one, the Cement Wali Madam. Which one do you relate to the most?
The Cement Wali Madam, obviously.
Obviously.
That means so much to me. You've never said that to me before.
I haven't. I was waiting for my podcast.
You're waiting for this to happen.
I was waiting for this to happen.
I think like the business side is like where my like mind and heart are, and like my soul is in my music. So I don't know. It's like asking me to choose between my parents.
Okay, let's not do that.
No. We're walking a very fine line.
Let's not do that. The problem here is, and I just want to tell everyone, there are so many inside jokes that it's going to be very hard because we'll keep laughing about it. But one of the things personally that I admire about you is how you speak about your weaknesses and you speak about the struggles that you have with your mental health. And it may seem weird to a lot of people and thinking that, which is the basic way of thinking that money is the answer to everything, right?
Yeah. I am like a hugely imperfect person. I have so many flaws,
As we all are.
Of course. And the word struggle is something that I personally struggle with, because I think that compared to everyone in this world, I literally have no struggles. And I think it's disrespectful for me to say, I mean, there are people on the streets who don't have food, don't have clothes, like it starts from there and then of course it keeps going up, right? So I think I don't like to use that word. I think I haven't struggled at all. We all have our own journeys. I think I've had my journey. When it comes to my mental health, yes, I'm very open about it, because I think that it's just like having a physical illness. If I walk, like my slip disc, right? It has nothing to do with where you come from, what you've achieved. It just happened, right?
It doesn't see how much money you have.
Not at all. It just happens. And I think it's really important for people from all genres of life to speak up when it comes to mental health, so that someone out there feels less alone if they're struggling with it, because it's so real. Api, you've seen me having a really bad panic attack. You've seen me through multiple panic attacks. Touch wood, now it's been
really good.
It's been really good.
It takes a lot of courage to talk about any kind of flaw that you have, but it also takes a lot of courage to do as many things as you do. We'll come back to this. We'll talk more about everything, but just to cut it a little, and I want to say that there are some pictures here which
we're getting into trouble territory.
No. Because I have given the pictures.
What pictures have you given?
I have given some. They've found some from you, and we have all permission from your team. Everything is great.
Okay.
So you just have to tell us a backstory of it.
I love this picture of us because we both don't really get ready like this. Like, it's very rare.
We look very happy, but we were not.
Now I can't say what it was for, but it was an eventful evening.
It was nice. We had fun.
We had fun.
Looks like our wedding picture. But okay.
Oh.
What is it?
Where did you find this picture?
Show me, what is it?
This one is me having a crisis and calling Api. It's on Botim because her WhatsApp video doesn't work when she's in Dubai. So I've downloaded Botim just for her, which also doesn't work half the time. You can see how bad it is, and she's not picked up.
I'm sure I picked up.
Can I tell you guys what actually happened? I called Api. I was probably in a crisis, which was not really a real crisis. And then I took a screenshot because she didn't pick up. And this is the screenshot that I sent her saying, why are you not picking up my call?
I have, at least 200 of these screenshots.
Let's not get into that right now. I don't know why I was calling her. I call her all the time. Oh, this is us in Dubai at one of our favorite breakfast places.
Yeah, we were having breakfast.
What's the place's name?
Brunch and Cake.
Brunch and Cake.
Which is also in Mumbai now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my favorite. So, Api and Izu came for my 30th birthday, and Izu and I cut my birthday cake together. I feel very close to Izu, so that's us.
He's like a little brother. I mean, she treats him like a little brother.
He is like my little brother. Oh! With our favorite caps, driving around town. But look, these caps, I think, really highlight our personalities. Because Api says the queen, which she is, and mine says, how about a hug?
Yeah, hugs are not for me. I'm not a hugger.
No, you give me a hug.
Oh, yeah.
You give Lola a hug.
Because Lola is not a hugger. That is the reason.
Remember the first time when you and Lola hugged in Dubai?
It was the most awkward hug I've ever had.
Aww.
It's in London.
This is us in London with mom.
Just before your panic attack.
This is just before my panic attack. No, after my panic attack. Before my panic attack. Before my panic attack. That's how we like...
This is during Christmas, just around Christmas.
Oh, yeah,
November,
around
December.
Christmas. My panic attacks, I think, is how we like identify.
No, we don't. Nonsense. Some rubbish. We don't do that.
Oh, this is like really a relationship. Like my avocado on toast, which I haven't eaten. My head is probably hurting.
You did. You had migraine.
I had migraine.
You had migraine.
Api gives the best massages, like especially here, and she gives like a point here.
When you have that sinus and stuff, so I was just giving you a...
Your baby sister.
It really is like that.
Anam, can I share your sister with you, please?
I think you already do. I think that's...
But I've never asked for like permission officially.
Oh.
Izu and I playing carom.
I just want to say that whenever we come to Bombay, Izu's first question is, are we going to live at Anand's house? That is the first question. And if I say no, he chooses not to come to Bombay. He's like, I'll just stay in Dubai. And because of all this, that she just spoils him rotten, and this is the reason.
No, not at all. I think it was fun. It was fun. This was a crazy day. This was my 31st birthday, so I'm not a birthday person at all. And Api happened to be in Bombay shooting at the same studio. We were both at Mehboob. Not even next door, like Mehboob.
Next van.
Yeah, correct. And very sweetly, Api she cut a cake for me. It was really, really special. Oh my God, this is ages ago.
This is my birthday.
This is your birthday in Dubai. This is at her home. This was a really fun birthday. Anam had
where
games
we played the
for
game.
you.
Yeah, we had games night.
And Farah won, na? My team won.
Yeah.
Farah was in my team, obviously.
It was a Bollywood-based game.
Obviously,
of
we would
course,
win.
Farah won.
It's all about choosing the right team players. This I don't remember.
This is when we have woken up, one of those random pictures that we take when we wake up in the morning.
So, last night also this happened, by the way, okay? Api came home, it was 2:30, I was passed out. Api comes in, I have no idea. I think around 5 o'clock I wake up and I'm like, my heart, blah, 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 blah. And Api's like, not now.
I was like,
2 hours.
I was like, not now, in 2 hours.
In 2 hours.
I had just slept like an hour.
Okay, yeah, I understand. 2 hours. I don't know what happened after that. I wake up and Api's not there anymore.
Because I was here.
I don't know how you
I was shooting.
So this is probably one of those. Was it night or morning?
Morning this was. We just woke up. Thank you for that.
Thanks for the such sweet memories.
Farah's taken them home.
Even I'll take them.
At 17, when most kids are just going to college, you were someone who was trying to get rural women access to finance, and you started Svatantra. Talk to us a little bit about that. I feel that not many people know the amazing things that you actually do because of the surname that you come with. So why did that start? What came to you at 17?
So I think while growing up in a Marwadi community, but I think I can only speak from that point of view, but I really think it happens pretty much all over the world. I think when women are not financially free or don't have financial sustainability, a lot of their decisions are controlled either first by their father and then when they get married by their husband, right? And somewhere deep within that really, really irked me. So one thing was that I wanted to give women, I wanted to be a part of making women financially free, independent. And two, I realized from a very young age of 17 that I am going to be financially independent from a very young age, which I am completely now. Because I think it's really important to have that sense of empowerment. I saw my mom going through it, and just generally, it's just not a nice thing.
But it's most women.
It's most women,
in
right?
part of the subcontinent, right?
Exactly.
Because that's just the way the culture and the way it's been.
And then so that was one, leg of it. The other leg was, of course, I come from a lot of privilege, and I think that guilt of privilege, which now is something that I'm much better with, was so heavy when I was growing up. I couldn't understand what or why I was born in a certain setting and someone right across didn't have anything. And so I wanted to do something to address that gap, which is basically nothing but financial inclusion.
Yeah.
And microfinance really fit that bill. So it's like a bank, literally. Yeah. The only difference is that here, what I created was something called a social collateral. Because very early on, I learned that for these women, being ostracized from society was a much bigger deal than losing a bike. So we put them in groups, right? Let's say we put them in groups of 11 and 100 rupees each. If one person doesn't repay, then everybody has to give 10 rupees each.
Yeah.
And that social pressure is what really makes sure that our NPAs are in control. Started with 10,000 rupees and I feel very proud when I say this. And now it's 60,000 crore portfolio.
That's incredible.
An AUM of 60,000 crore, second largest in the country.
On a lighter note, you've told me about how when you were in school, you used to not write your surname as Birla on your exam papers, right?
God, yeah.
Why? Why? I want you to tell people why. You know, because everyone's like, is she mad? Why is she not writing Birla? She can get so much done. But that's the whole point, right?
Yeah, it just like brought about a disparity that made me very uncomfortable. I just think all of us are one, and I don't know. Like every time I would write Ananya, my full name is Ananya, you know, Ananya Birla, it would create like stares. Oh yeah, oh Birla ki beti hai.
So if you did well, you were Birla ki beti, and if you did bad, you were like, oh my god, Birla ki beti.
Exactly. So there was no winning, which is totally fine. I know my journey.
What were the surnames you used?
Funnily, I used Shah a lot.
Really?
And then Akshita Shah came into my life as my best friend and manager. I used Shah a lot. I used Merchant a lot. Not that there's anything wrong with these surnames.
No,
it's just that it's a bit more generic. And I just didn't get stares.
So that's the part about privilege, right? That's the part about privilege that people don't see. That yes, there are great ups to it, and we all know what the ups come with. But there's the other side of the coin. And the other side of the coin is that you're judged and on everything, and it's almost like you're never enough.
You know, Api, but like it's fine if they don't see it. That's where I am now. Because to be completely fair, I do have it much easier.
Yes.
And when I say that, I mean it in a very like, I don't just mean the money part of it. Like, in terms of like having a very supportive family, they support me for who I truly am. Having all of you like my best friends who are really my strength. Of course, it's also because, you know, there's this level of vulnerability that we all have with each other. For me, the most important thing is that if mom, pa, my siblings, my team, my best friends, they know my truth, you all know my truth, right? And I think eventually the truth, people find out, right? Maybe after I die, I don't know.
Oh God. Why have we gone to death? No. Nobody is dying. Is there a story that has stood out for you with working with all these women? Is there one story that's stayed with you?
So there was this one lady who we gave a loan. It was actually just 10,000 rupees at that time for a parlor. It was literally like, I can't even explain. I went back 2 years later, that had become at least four times larger, and she had now employed 5 more women.
Can you imagine?
So the multiplier effect of just 10,000 rupees at that time, now obviously our ticket size has gone up and we have housing and stuff as well. But that was a very, for me, it was a very first-hand experience of how a micro amount can make such a macro difference.
Yeah.
And the impact of that the sector can actually have for India's growth story.
And was there something that you felt at any given point, oh my God, this is not fun at all. Like I've taken this on, but this is not, and now I have to go through with it because you do so many things. Was there any moment you felt like that?
Yeah, I have those. I'm obsessed with what I do, so I always come back to it. But of course, there are moments, like initially, I remember coming back from office and crying in the bathroom every day. I didn't have a place to sit in Papa's office at that time because I think he's a super supportive dad.
Yeah, of course.
But at that time, of course, you know, he probably wanted to protect.
But you were also very young.
I was very young. He probably didn't understand what I was doing. So I wasn't allowed to sit where he was sitting. So I had to find, like, I had to rent my own office. Kotak Mahindra was the first bank to trust a 17-year-old and give me a loan to start. And so I don't usually say these things because then it can come across like, oh, she doesn't have a supportive dad. But that's absolutely
that's
not the case.
It's
the opposite. You know, you've seen him every day. But the point is that initially it was a bit like, what am I doing?
So you did feel like that.
Of course, but you know, I was very, very sure in the vision I had. I think that's why it's so important to have that self-belief.
Yeah, and talking of self-belief, I mean, you had, especially when it came to business, you always knew you could fall back on your family, right? But when you came into music, that's just something that's yours. There is no sort of legacy or falling back on in that, and you write your own music and you've been doing that for years now. Do you think that the way of writing has changed? The things that you write about, have they? I know the answer to the question, but I want everybody else to know. Has it changed, and why has it changed? Is it because of life or experiences or?
Yeah. So I think firstly, again, I got into music when I was 20. I dropped out of Oxford. I got a deal with Universal Music. I came back. I was running Svatantra at that time as well, music as well. I had some moments of success there, like Better going double platinum, Meant to Be going platinum, Circles going platinum, first Indian to ever sing an English song going platinum. I think I'm very on the surface yet with that. Like with my music, I think there's a lot more to do, a lot more to achieve. I am not happy with what I have
But there
done.
is also no limit in music, right? It's
Of
limitless.
course, but I think, like when I think about my career so far, I was in it for 8 years. I took a break for a year, so it's a big pain point for me. But I'm trying to use that now, since the last, I would say, year. I'm trying to use that pain to put it back into my music. So I write, and I don't think it's changed. I pretty much write about people that I'm in love with. But now recently I've started also writing more about like life experiences, and I cannot write a happy song. This is my problem. I cannot. I just cannot.
You can.
I can't.
You can. So for your music journey ahead, we do have a small Digitech hamper for you, which we will give you.
So sweet. What is this?
It's a Digitech hamper.
Thank you, Digitech.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can I open it now or later?
No, let's not open it.
You know, I never follow anything you say.
Stop it.
Guys, battery pack, we need it, na?
Stop it. So, Anand, being in the public eye, being not just from the family that you are, but you know, you might have heard of Naomi Osaka, one of the first athletes who actually came out and said that she's not going to do press conferences because of her mental health and the effect it was having on her. She was criticized for it. Some people supported it. She said it was her personal choice. You, on the other hand, and a lot of athletes, including myself, only spoke about my mental health struggles much later on in life. To be very, I'm also a little older than you, so times changed. I battled depression, you know, a couple of times in my life, and I know that you struggle with that. And how important is it to talk about it, not just for yourself, but how important is it to talk about it so that other people are inspired and if it can help them?
I think it's all about self-acceptance. Once I accepted that, okay, these are my struggles, or whatever you want to call them, this is my journey, this is what I experience, I was able to turn those into my superpowers. The creativity that comes to me during some phases of feeling low. I'm not encouraging anyone to not get better, but what I'm trying to say is that everything that's potentially perceived as a weakness by society is actually your superpower. And I truly believe in this across the board. That could be like being very sensitive, for example. That could be like being an overthinker. Of course, everything in balance, but all of these things that potentially someone thinks, oh, like societally there's something, you know, like she doesn't fit in. Like,
that's different.
That's different. It's actually your superpower.
Yeah.
And I am on that cusp. I am able to now do that. So I think it's very important to talk about it so that other people who are going through this realize as well. So for example, RP, literally in my own team, you know, we have like different sorts of leaves. So I have mental health leave as well. So I type in as well, saying, guys, having a bad mental health day, gonna be off, working from home today, please hit me up on WhatsApp or whatever. Like I'm very open with my team. The response that I get from my team, the respect and also the reciprocation, like how many people go through it on a daily basis, whether that's anger management, whether that is
different kinds of things.
And then they take help for it, right? So it's really like a multiplier effect, I would say. And also there are so many people, it's still such a stigma, right? There's so many people who are on medications, there are so many people who don't want to talk about it because they're scared they'll get ostracized from society. There's so many people who think they won't get a job. And I really just want to tell them that you're not alone and it is your superpower.
Yeah.
Like as soon as you accept it for yourself, it's your superpower.
And what tool is it that helps you? Like when you're having a really bad day, what helps?
I'll be completely honest with you, and I'm not a religious person, the Hanuman Chalisa.
That helps you, it calms
like
you
prayers.
down.
Basically when I pray, praying really helps me. Walking, my God, walking has saved my life. It's so underrated, but movement, any sort of movement, I think momentum is so important. It just completely changes your frame of mind. Being in the present moment. So like, okay, right now, I see my shoes, I see RP's shoes, I see this is blue, I see green. You're in the present moment, nothing else matters, right? So this sort of mindfulness, anything, it could be painting, it could be singing, doing my riyaz really helps me every morning, it could be meditation, it could be focusing on a single word.
So it's
right?
different on different days, basically. Whatever
It's any form of mindfulness, bringing myself back to the present moment and having faith that this too shall pass, because everything does pass.
Yeah, and it does pass. And with that, we are going to move on to our next segment. But before that, we're going to have a healthy smoothie.
I don't know how to cook or anything, huh?
Cook. I also don't know how to
What
cook,
is
but
this?
we're going to have to go there and make
Chalo.
our smoothie.
Okay.
Let me come this side. Our smoothie is ready.
Let me open it. Yay. Yeah, it looks good.
It's actually very good.
Cheers. Cheers. Love you, bhai.
Love you. So when was the last time you actually cooked? Do you know how to cook?
No.
That's why we're friends.
One of the many reasons.
Never, no?
So, you know, if I had to survive to cook, we would manage.
Like dal chawal types.
Dal,
chai.
chai.
Those three things.
Chai is very hard to make. Good chai is very hard to make.
We're all too busy to cook elaborate meals. But staying healthy doesn't need hours. This smoothie we're having is proof. Crompton, Amio Fresh, make sure we don't compromise health just because life is hectic.
And honestly, it's really yummy.
It is yum.
I'm not just saying, I really mean it. It's actually really
yum.
good.
I know that you took that break and sabbatical from music, right? So the question actually is something else, but I'm going to ask you, why, first of all, you didn't discuss it with anyone.
No.
You just put it out on social media.
I didn't tell anyone. It was how I was feeling for a while. So mom was in Istanbul and she called me frantically saying what has happened. Because I had just finished shooting for 24, the music video. You know what, I realized that I'm doing it for the wrong reasons. I started doing it for the numbers, I started doing it for the admiration, and that's not who I am. It was just not feeling, I was not feeling aligned with myself.
You want to do it for the love.
I want to do it for the love that I have for music. And there was also a lot of business stuff going on, truly. So I was able to launch Love Etc., Contraband, Birla Real Estate, Aditya Birla Global Trading, get into fashion. So I think this year has actually really helped me. Plus, I was able to take a step back and see, okay, what do I have to do to find that alignment within myself again? So all of that frustration, whatever I was feeling, I was able to put that aside. You know how I feel about it.
Yes, of course. And that's why I was so surprised. I remember calling you and I'm like, why, what has happened?
Yeah.
But because you do two things that are so different, which is music and business, how do you switch gears, right? Because it's very hard to do.
Yeah. So basically, when I'm in a board meeting or in my business stuff, right, I'm way more alpha. I'm like more like, obviously I have to make the decisions. Since 17, I've been sitting in rooms with men in their 45s, 50s, so I've had to be that alpha person. So I wouldn't say it's a persona, it's just who I am in my business world. Music requires a lot of vulnerability. It's completely different. So in my mind, when I'm in my business mind, it's Ananya Birla. And when I'm in music, it's AB17. So it's a completely different person. It's a different persona of a person. So it's a dichotomy, I would say. And this works well for me. So that's switch gears. Then once I enter my studio, I think I change my clothes. So clothes for me is a big one. So I'm in formals and then I switch into like, you know, my hoodie or whatever. And then I'm kind of in
that. It's something as basic as that, right?
It's like, really as basic as that.
How much of it has been or how challenging has it been to prove yourself beyond that Birla surname, right? And again, we're talking about it because it is such a big part of who you are. And also, what is the toughest criticism you've ever gotten, you know, for either of the things?
Yeah. So I'll answer the second part first. I think whenever I get people saying that she's spoiling the legacy, that really hurts deep.
Yeah.
Because I am the 7th generation and every generation has worked so hard and I look up to all of them so much. I'm the first woman to ever, from this family line, to ever be in business.
To get into the business.
Yeah, or work in any way, really. And so that really hits very deep within somewhere. And I don't think I've reached that level of self-acceptance to be able to let that go very easily. So it hurts. I think it's important to have an identity of your own and an agency of your own. But I think it's happening naturally. I think it's just a function of time, age, hard work, clarity. And it's happening by itself. I think when I was a teenager, I probably used to rebel against it. But over the last, I would say 5-6 years, I've embraced it a lot more. Now
but it's also maturity, right? Like
yeah,
with
it's a function
age
of time.
and stuff. Yeah, it all, you kind of get, it's also conditioning a little bit and stuff
sure.
like that. Your relationship with your dad, I just want to talk about, I mean, with both your parents, but especially with your dad, because it's an unbelievably sweet relationship, okay? And we are all our daddy's girls. And even when you guys sit next to each other, like he'll hold your hand and he'll sit. It's so sweet. And he has spoken about how education was so important to him, right? And where he said that his father told him that you will not be joining this business until you finish a certain amount of education. How was it when you decided not to finish education, right? And you dropped out and you made that decision for how supportive or how different was it? How did your family deal with that?
So it's super interesting. For part number one, I think Papa and I have worked really hard in our relationship, and we're finally in a place where there's just like unconditional love. We still have our disagreements, but
like all families.
Yeah, but it's like it's very chill.
Yeah.
And Papa's my best friend. Like he knows about all my,
Yes, everything.
And last what he told me, right? Which I'm following it, by the way.
Oh God.
So basically, I think what happened was that Papa's Dadaji, that's Ananya Birla, just for context. I think Papa and Dadaji had a very beautiful but a very complex relationship. And Papa was not a big fan of completing his CA. Now, of course, he has a lot of gratitude. But there was a lot of pressure on him from Dadaji. So I think Papa has been very successfully able to break that generational cycle. So with me, when I explained to my family where I was coming from, honestly speaking, they just wanted me to be happy. I remember mom said, just have a plan B. I think my master of the college was more worried for me than my parents were, because he said this is either going to be the best decision of your life or the worst decision of your life. And the funny thing is, and I believe in these things, I remember that weekend, I was 90% sure with my decision. I went back to London. I was at home in London. And where I stay in Oxford, the entire place just caught fire. And we have no idea. To date, the insurance company came, did all their checks. We have no idea why that fire happened. It's worked out really well so far.
Of course.
And I wouldn't have it any other way.
You've also had, and a lot of people are envious of that because, Mr. Kumar Mangalam Birla, which is weird for me to say, but uncle's your dad. You've had the opportunity to learn so much from him in terms of business, in terms of the person that he is. And you kind of touched on it, but your views do clash. At times, because everybody has different working techniques as well, not just at home, but I'm saying professionally.
Api, I don't know what to do. I'm going crazy.
But how do you find your voice with somebody that experienced, that powerful, somebody that's in that position? How do you say to him, I think you're wrong and I'm right? How do you do that?
Firstly, I would like to say that he's been really kind to give me that space, right? To be able to
independently
have this opinion. I think it's taken, proving myself in a way to him as well, which is a little weird for me to say, but I guess it, for example, Svatantra being a success, which he didn't believe in, contraband being music taking up, or he sees a difference that I've made in real estate, or he sees the way I conduct meetings, so obviously I think we're all human beings, right? And at the end of the day, he wants the best for me. And I think the strength that Papa gives me as a dad, right? Like, let's say I had a terrible day for whatever reason. He makes it very clear, Anand, you're my first priority. Like he was in Calcutta. No, he was in Delhi the other day. He called me up and said, Anand, Betu, are you okay? If not, I want to come to Bombay for an evening, spend time with you, and then I will go to Calcutta.
And make sure you're okay.
And he's exhausted at this point. I'm like, Papa, not at all. I should be the one coming to Delhi if anything. But he's just, I don't know how to explain how much gratitude I have in my heart for the dad I have. Like in all ways, like whether it's professional, personal, and I'm really, really lucky and grateful.
And just to follow that question up, I would love to ask him this question, but I'm going to ask you, do you think that having a daughter, just like a lot of fathers say, has really changed my life? They always say this, like with them, and especially their firstborns, right? Do you think that it's evolved him in certain ways to have a daughter?
He said something and I didn't realize. He said that without even realizing, I want my children to know, or something. I'm not really changing. I'm changing the words that without even realizing, they have helped me grow up with them.
Yeah, and so he's evolved with you guys.
That really hit me hard because I didn't even think of, like, for me, my parents are my superheroes.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize that as kids, we could have that impact on our parents, you know.
You know, when I was younger, and I'm the firstborn as well, right? And my mom and me used to have all these clashes when we were teenagers. And my mom, sometimes my mom used to be so fed up of me. And I used to be like, it's not my fault. And Anam used to have everything very easy because she was the second. Because I used to fight all the battles and then Anam had it very easy. So my mom used to say, how do I know? I'm also a mother for the first time. She used to yell at me and she was like, I'm also learning with you. And obviously at a younger age, it's hard to understand. But today, as a mother,
that you're a mom, you get it, right? Yeah.
I understand what she means because you learn along the way. Just like they are growing up, you're also growing in that relationship.
I was very late in life. I was like 24 or 5 when I realized that my parents are also here for the first time.
Yes.
And they're doing this all for the first time. And overnight, my perspective on everything changed.
So I think we just think parents are supposed to be perfect.
And they know it all.
Yeah, and they know it all. But it's
they're
not
learning
the case.
with us, man.
Yeah, they're
like,
also human beings.
Exactly.
Okay, now I have a few rapid fire
questions. Oh God, I'm very bad at this.
Why?
You're the witty one.
We know, but...
Apiya, some confidence give me.
Okay, what?
Hold my hand.
Why?
As a confidence booster.
No, I can't hold your hand and all like.
Not through the entire thing.
Okay,
that's
just
so weird.
One rule in your house, no one breaks.
I'll have to ask you.
Are there rules in the house? I feel like there are hardly any rules.
I think non-veg. No one brings non-veg because we don't eat non-veg. I've never eaten.
Nobody eats non-veg, basically. Funniest / weirdest DM from a fan?
From a fan or from a human being? Okay.
That you have not responded to.
That I have not. Api, I'm not that bad, yeah.
Okay.
Somebody wants to be my doormat and still continues wanting to be my doormat.
Like the actual doormat?
Actual doormat, for free.
Okay.
They like just want to be. I don't know if it's a woman.
There's
man.
some very weird people in this world.
Yeah.
Okay, a song you wish you wrote.
So Many But Beautiful People by Ed Sheeran. It's so beautiful.
You wish you wrote it.
Yeah.
And your guilty pleasure song. That keeps changing, but.
Keeps changing. What were we listening to recently on loop?
God knows.
What's that song with Tamanna? Aaj Ki Raat. Guilty pleasure.
What was harder, learning to play instruments or learning to tune out of people's opinions of you?
Oh, the latter.
Yeah, of course. Who would you write this for?
Where
this
is
the
going?
last segment. Last segment, I promise. I'll just give you a situation,
Api.
and you have to tell me if you would write a song for someone, or if you would dedicate it to someone. Just name a person. Okay. Be careful. I have to tell you to be careful.
I know.
A song about the one person who always cancels plans last minute.
I know what's going on in your mind, and it's me. I know. I take it, me.
Huh?
But I'm better now.
You're much better. But that's because your MH is better.
Yeah.
But you don't cancel plans because you don't.
Yeah.
Because it's only because if you're not fine. A song for someone who hypes you up even when you feel like crap. You can't say me.
Serving it up. Serving it up. Serving it up.
A song for someone who never finds the right outfit before stepping out.
Lola. Bro, honestly, what is it? What is that hair?
Okay, do you want to tell everybody, quickly tell, why do you call Akshita Shah Lola?
Because Lola Kutti, who I absolutely love, I used to grow up on Lola Kutti. We all have 90s children, maybe even 80s on Channel V. She looks like Lola Kutti. Lola, you want to come here? Just show your face on camera. You look like Lola Kutti.
The camera is right here.
You look like Lola Kutti.
She does.
She does look like
She does Lola.
Really?
You're funnier.
Thank you.
I'll have to tell Lola Kutti that.
I'm so joking. She was at my retirement event.
Yeah, she
Lola
was.
She was at my
She's actually a parent at ABBA.
Oh, really?
School. Yeah, one of our schools.
Amazing. With that, we are done with our questions.
Woo! Actually, I'm sad. I really enjoyed this.
Did you?
Yeah. Thank you,
Okay.
Api. I love
We'll
you.
continue in the car.
We'll continue
Where
in the
then
car.
the stuff that you
No, now
filtered out, we
have
can
to
talk.
Come now with me.
I'll come with you.
Please. Really?
I'll come with you.
Are you just saying it for camera?
Yeah, I'm saying it for camera. But thank you. I didn't know and I wasn't sure we were going to get through a very formal chat, but we have done it. We can go back to, in our pajamas in about exactly 2 hours and do what we do best.
Yeah.
But really, thank you so much for being part of this. I wouldn't imagine having something so special without having you on it.
Love you,
So
bro.
thank you. And
I have one last question.
Oh,
for
you
my
have a
own,
question
for my own self.
Okay.
Would you have had me on a show like this if we were not friends? Like, am I worth the show?
Yes.
Actually?
Yeah, I
All-
would, and
in
I'm
all
not
honesty?
just saying that, but because it's a very hypothetical question. Now we are past that in life, but yes, I would, because I would find it very interesting to know the questions that I asked you. And honestly, I think the questions that I have asked you are not really things that we actually talk about in general.
Yeah.
And I just feel that it's so important for people also to know, even though I know so many parts of the things that I've asked you, it's important to know that the real person that you are.
Yeah.
And how pure you are. So yes, you would be on the show.
Wow,
And
made
I
it
wanna
in
give
life.
you-
This is my Padma Bhushan.
No,
I'm surrounded by Padma Bhushans, but this is mine.
So our friends at Solitario have
Oh,
sent a
so
little something for you just
Another
before you
gift.
leave. Another gift.
Thanks, bro. Thank you, Solitario.
Please don't open
Love
it.
you,
Thank
bro.
you.
Thank you so much.
Love you.
It's been
Now we
honestly
can-
a pleasure. Thanks, guys.
Bye. Don't forget to watch this episode on Myntra Glamstream. Play to slay.